So if I'm looking to buy my first like home here in Las Vegas, first off, Graham says he thinks I should rent.
Yep.
I think I should buy. Do you have any input on that?
Now, first of all, he's got to hear the arguments.
Yeah, I want to hear why you think rent.
Okay. This would be Jack's first place. His first time really living on his own outside of his parents. And I think, given Jack's income, the money he's going to be making 5 years from now is going to be completely different than what he's making today in a great way. So my thinking is this. We just moved to a new state. I think it's better for him to get situated with renting a spot. Getting situated with that first, really getting to know the areas where he wants to live. Within about a year and a half, he's going to have a way different income profile than what he has this year. So I think whatever he buys today is going to be different than what he's going to want probably 3 to 4 years from now. He's 22 right now. He's going to be 25, 26. The place that he's living now is going to be way different than 25, 26, what you're going to want later. So I think it's probably better right now. Rent. It's a very competitive market. Get situated. See what you like and what you don't like, and then buy, especially if you're going to be plunking down that money. That is my argument. That's why I think, at least for the next 12 to 18 months, Jack is better off renting.
So, Jack, I am going to disagree with Graham, and I agree that you should buy, and here's why. As I said in my story, I was 22 when I bought my first house, just like you. I didn't know where I was going to live 5 years from then, but I did know that, if I got a good deal, I would have no problem selling it 2 years from now and getting the capital gains, and all the money that I make from it. So if you found a good deal today, I would rather you buy it, live in it 2 years, get tax-free capital gains, and then just upgrade, buy another house.
But then it's also the maintenance. Then it's also maintaining the property and keeping it in good condition. And then figuring out, well, are you going to sell it 2 years from now? What if interest rates go up? What if the market goes down? I think back in 2011, 2012, when we were first starting to buy real estate, we had all the edge. We had the advantage. And we benefited from the insane appreciation of buying something 160. The next year it's worth 200 grand. You just made a whole bunch of money. Right now, we are in the most competitive time ever in the history of housing, with interest rates really low, by the way. So that is, I think, in Jack's favor. But we're at a time where Jack is going to be competing with potentially all cash offers. And I know you would take good care of Jack. I have no question about that. But from a seller's perspective, on a broad scale, if they have a cash offer, or they have the potential for a quick close cash, or Jack would have to go through financing, I would rather pick the cash offer.
Yeah.
So I think just the market in general right now.
But you're looking at it from the perspective of Jack is going to pay market value or above market value, where I'm saying, yeah, I don't agree. In fact, I don't agree in any market paying market value. That goes against everything I do.
Yeah.
What I'm telling Jack to do is, if he can find a good deal that's 80 to 85 cents on the dollar, even 90 cents on the dollar if you're going to live there, I would rather bet that in 2 years, you're going to still get appreciation. Things are still going to be on. My bet is that in 2 years, it will still be the way it is. Maybe not to this level now, but it's not like things are tanking 2 years from now. Your house will not be worth less than it is today. Nobody has a crystal ball, and hopefully 2 years from now, if somebody watching this, I don't look really stupid. But I would be very surprised if it was worth less.
My only argument to that is that you buying today 90 cents on the dollar is you buying up 6% from a year ago. You're still buying higher than a year. And that's not to say that prices, you're buying, higher than a year, that's bad. I just think right now in the current market, even buying at 90 cents on the dollar is still a high price given the lack of inventory and the amount of demand right now that we're seeing in Las Vegas.
Well, I can tell you this, Jack. For us, every flip we've done, we're getting like 10% more than we thought. Like, it's insane. So like a house I bought 3 months ago that is now hitting the market today, and we were like, okay, this is going to sell for 300. We're listing it for 330 and getting it. And this is like in a 3 month span. And there's no indication that this is going to stop. Demand is still very high. They're still pumping money into the economy. Rates are not going up. So there's so many factors that say, hey, guess what? You might be sitting on the waiting game, and it might be hurting you even more a year from now. I just believe that the other part as well is getting into your first property also is going to like start your process as a real estate investor. Like the sooner you start, the sooner you start making moves, and like you're just getting in the game quicker. You're learning. Like, when did you buy your first property? You're 21. Like you could have rented at 21 and did the same thing, but by starting your journey sooner, it's allowed you to become who you are today.
I had a different schedule, though. When I was 21, I had a whole bunch of free time. I had nothing going on weekends. No, well, not to say nothing going on weekends. Sundays, obviously, open houses. But there was a lot of time where, even if I worked 10 hours as a real estate agent, I had all night. I had nothing to do. I was trying to fill my time as much as possible. Jack has a unique opportunity where, for him, going and finding one extra sponsor would be the equivalent of getting rent on multiple rental properties.
Right.
So when I look at the time commitment, I'm like, Jack, spend 5 hours a month, one extra sponsor. That's like 3 rental properties right there.
Yeah.
Guaranteed to come in with really no risk at all. It's guaranteed. I see that. I'm like, from a time perspective, the time is most valuable spent.
So I agree with you there. And that's the reason I got on YouTube and started doing these other things. Cause I noticed that too. I said, dang, like this is risk-free money. This is, I'm used to taking out millions in debt to buy real estate. It's a very risky business, no matter how good you are. The market could collapse at any moment. You could buy bad deals and, really become insolvent. But there's nothing to stop Jack from devoting all of his time and resources into, this and building up the channel and everything. But there's like, if you just go the route of meeting wholesalers and then just letting them do all the work, where you're just literally looking at the deals and you're like, yes or no, you're not scavenging the MLS and Zillow. I think that could be a happy medium where you end up finding a good deal. And what would happen too then is like, if you find that deal, you could just do a burr out of it because you're getting a good deal. So maybe Graham funds it for you, because you got to buy all cash or with a hard money loan from these wholesalers. They're not waiting for a conventional loan. But after that, you can just refinance right away and, get all the cash out because you have enough equity.
I would fund you. I would do that. I mean, I want a pretty, we'll have to talk about that, but I would fund you on that.
What percent?
I don't know. We're on camera right
Exactly,
now.
we're on camera, so what percent? What percent?
Here's what will happen is we will, when I get a house that I think is good for Jack, it'll be discounted and I will bring it to Jack first because of everything you guys have done for me. And we'll still make money on it, obviously, but you're going to get something way more discounted than what is currently on the market, and you won't have to have done any work for it. You'll just have to say, yeah, I'd live here. So you just got to tell me like your budget.
I love as many options as I can get.
But you would prefer that. Then we look at the just the overall, like Jack spends $1,200 a month on rent for a good spot nearby versus spending, it's probably going to be $2,800, $2,900.
But the thing is, it's like, dude,
no. Jack, how much of a house are you trying to buy? Like, what's the price point?
Graham has
I said under 400,000.
That's what Graham says.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
I think under 5.
Dang, Jack. All right. It's like that.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. So Jack, man, all right. You're much more of a baller than I was thinking.
That's $3,000 a month.
I can rent out the rooms though. That's my plan.
Jack, I mean,
Alex said he would rent a room. Alex said so.
So I had this conversation with Andre before he bought his house. He ended up buying his house for like $700. Mm-hmm. You don't need a house as big as Andre's right now. Like I would just be like, I agree with Graham on that. I think you're under 400 is like really good. And at under 400, you're, what is that? $2,000 to $2,400 a month.
I'm going to call it 25, 26.
Yeah. But if you house hack, like you said, you get the same result, but you have a house of your own and you're buying discounted. I mean, like if let's just say you buy this $400,000 house, but you get it for $350,000. Would you want to buy that in an area you live in?
Absolutely.
Okay. We get that all the time. We could sell you that all day because we can't flip that at $350,000. Once we factor in our cost and we resell it and realtor fees, we wouldn't make, we might make 10 grand max. We're not making 10 grand on a $400,000 house, but to sell it to you for $350,000 makes sense because you're going to go live in it and you're not paying the $420,000 that maybe it gets on the market because it's so crazy.
Why wouldn't you just take that house at 350 and immediately list it and flip it for 400 grand?
Because like I said, we don't buy all our properties with our own cash. So we pay hard money lenders or private lenders. And
Oh, that's where it gets expensive. Okay.
right. So, I mean, at 350, let's just say we hold it for 3 months, right? This has no renovation, like very light, whatever. 3 months of that is probably, close to $10,000 in fees. Then you have the realtor fees, call that another like 15 grand. You're at 25 plus title fees on both sides, purchase and sale, another whatever, 8 grand, 10 grand. So just if simple numbers, you're at like 45 grand and we're trying to sell for 400.
Sure.
So we won't make money flipping it, but you holding it, you love it because it's just, you're getting 50 grand in equity plus the upside.
I would be so grateful for an opportunity like that.
Like I'm telling you, if you really want to do it in a month, we'll have a house for you.
In a month?
Yeah.